There are soils in the Amazon rainforest that remain extraordinarily fertile to this day, a dream for any gardener struggling with nutrient-poor soil that produces only weak harvests. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you how you can successfully change that. But first, let's return to the Amazon, because there's a lot we can learn there about our own soil. The remarkable fertility of these soils alone would not be especially surprising. What's surprising is their age. Some of these soils were likely created centuries ago, possibly even more than 1,000 years ago, and yet they still produce harvests in regions where normal tropical soils are usually depleted very quickly. At first glance, that makes no sense, because tropical soil is normally considered nutrient poor. Heavy rainfall washes minerals away, organic material decomposes rapidly, and yet there are areas there that are deep black, crumbly, moisture retaining, and biologically extremely active. The indigenous peoples of the Amazon had a name for it: terra preta, black earth. And the more researchers studied these soils, the clearer it became. This was not an accident of nature. These soils were created, not with modern chemistry, not with synthetic fertilizer, not with industrial soil enhancers, but with a method that is astonishingly simple. And that is exactly what makes this topic so fascinating. Because modern agriculture often treats soil like a container for fertilizer. When yields decline, more is added: more nitrogen, more phosphorus, more potassium. But terra preta works completely differently. It does not treat soil like dead material. It treats it like a living system. Stay with me, because today I'm going to show you why this ancient method can bring dead soil back to life, why certain microorganisms are actually the main actors in this process, and why part of this mixture is probably already lying somewhere on your property. Because what's happening here is not magic, it's microbiology, and probably one of the most underrated gardening principles ever discovered. And yet, most hobby gardeners only know the modern version. Buy new fertilizer every year, artificially boost the soil every year, fight the same problems every year. In a moment, you're going to wonder why nobody ever told you about this simple solution. Did you know that charcoal is not really a fuel, but a habitat for microorganisms? You're about to learn why horse manure or fermented weeds can turn it into a biological battery, and how a simple mixture can transform exhausted soil into permanently fertile black earth. And the best part, the ingredients cost almost nothing. You've probably already seen the effect before without ever consciously noticing it. Forest soil, dark, crumbly earth. Soil that holds water, stays loose, and smells alive. And what's interesting is that nature itself likely demonstrated long ago how something like this works. After forest fires, researchers often observe something surprising: not just destruction, but renewal. In many forests, plants suddenly grow especially vigorously after a fire. Some seeds only germinate after exposure to heat, and afterward, the soil contains large amounts of charred organic material, not just ash alone, but partially carbonized wood, biologically stable carbon structures, essentially natural biochar. Researchers have debated for years what role these charred materials play in long-term soil fertility. The idea behind it is simple: do not just add nutrients, create habitats for soil organisms, because healthy soil is not simply made of minerals, it is made of relationships between fungi, bacteria, roots, moisture, and organic matter. And this is exactly where biochar becomes interesting. This is not a coincidence. Fertile soil is not a material, it is a living system. Imagine that a single teaspoon of healthy soil contains billions of microorganisms: bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, an entire underground ecosystem. And that is exactly what depleted agricultural soils are missing, because modern agriculture often destroys soil faster than it can regenerate. Intensive tilling, synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, monocultures, lack of organic matter. As a result, the soil does not just become nutrient poor, it becomes biologically poor. And here comes the remarkable part. Charcoal does something that normal soil can barely do. It functions like a gigantic microscopic sponge. Under a microscope, biochar does not look smooth. It is full of pores, tunnels, chambers, and tiny cavities. A single gram of high-quality biochar can have an internal surface area of several hundred square meters, and that is exactly where microorganisms settle and multiply. Studies show that biochar can increase microbial activity in soil, bind nutrients, and improve soil fertility over the long term. The famous terra preta, the black earth of the Amazon, contained exactly these kinds of charcoal residues, mixed with organic material, manure, compost, and kitchen waste. And in fact, many of these soils remain extraordinarily fertile to this day. But now we come to the crucial point that most people get wrong. They simply throw charcoal onto the soil. Don't do that. Fresh biochar initially behaves almost like an empty battery. It does the exact opposite of what we want. At first, It absorbs nutrients and microbes. That means if you mix it directly into the soil, it can temporarily rob plants of nutrients. What you need to understand is this. The charcoal must first be charged. And that is exactly why you need the mixture. Here's how it works. You need crushed charcoal or biochar, not barbecue briquettes, not chemically treated charcoal, just regular untreated charcoal. The more finely crushed, the better. Then horse manure, ideally slightly composted, not fresh and soaking wet. If you do not have horse manure, finely chopped weeds, compost material, or fermented plant matter will also work. And chlorine-free water. That part is important, because chlorine kills microorganisms, and microorganisms are the true core of this mixture. If you use tap water, simply let it sit uncovered for 24 hours so the chlorine can evaporate. Rainwater works even better, not only because it is naturally chlorine-free, but because rainwater often already contains natural microorganisms, trace minerals, and dissolved organic compounds. Exactly what we need. Now for the mixture. Approximately 1 part charcoal, 1 part organic material, and enough water to keep everything moist, but not completely soaked. The consistency should feel roughly like a wrung-out sponge, not dripping wet, not dry. Then comes the crucial step. You let the mixture rest for about 1 week. And during that week, something fascinating happens. The microorganisms from the manure or plant material begin colonizing the pores of the charcoal. Bacteria, fungi, microbial life. The charcoal becomes biologically activated. Some gardeners even go 1 step further. They inoculate their garden beds with a small amount of healthy forest soil, not because of the nutrients, but because of the life inside it. Forest soil often contains highly complex microbial networks, fungi, bacteria, humus-forming organisms, microorganisms that have worked together for decades in a stable ecosystem. And these are exactly the organisms that can help revive biologically depleted soil. The biochar acts almost like new housing. The forest soil provides the first inhabitants. Even a small amount of loose soil or leaf humus from a healthy mixed forest can be enough. Not wheelbarrows full, not bags full, more like a biological starter culture, a so-called forest soil inoculation. And honestly, that term describes perfectly what this has been about all along. Not simply fertilizing soil, but building soil life. Some researchers call this charging or activating biochar. Studies show that biologically activated biochar can have significantly stronger effects on soil life and fertility than untreated charcoal. And here's the part that really stays on my mind. The modern gardening industry often sells soil as if it were a consumable product. Buy fertilizer. Buy more fertilizer. Buy soil activator. Buy more soil activator. Liquid fertilizer. Boosters. Microbial concentrates. But fertile soil was never originally a product. It was a living system that stabilized itself. And that is exactly what makes this mixture so interesting. Biochar decomposes extremely slowly, sometimes over decades, some forms even over centuries. That means you're not creating a short-term fertilizer effect. You're creating infrastructure for soil life, and soil life is the true engine of fertility. And here's what happens next. After about 1 week, you can work the mixture into the soil, not meters deep. That is a common mistake. Most microorganisms operate in the upper soil layers where oxygen is available. So mix it in only about 5 to 15 centimeters deep, directly where the roots will later grow. After that, water normally. It is very important that the soil is moist so it does not pull moisture away from the mixture. Otherwise, the charcoal could become inactive again. And now, something happens that surprises many people the first time they try this. The soil changes. It becomes looser, darker, more crumbly. It retains water longer, while also staying more airy. And plants respond with stronger growth, more vigorous root development, and better resistance to drought stress. Because biochar does not only improve microbiology, it can also store water and hold nutrients in the soil instead of allowing them to wash away. Now, 2 honest limitations, because this video is meant to give you the complete picture. First, this is not instant magic. Completely destroyed soil will not turn into black earth overnight. Building soil is a biological process, and biology takes time. The effects often continue building over months, not hours. Second, more is not automatically better. Too much fresh charcoal can throw the soil out of balance. Many studies work with relatively moderate amounts. You do not need to turn your garden into a black coal pit. Even smaller amounts, used consistently, can make a huge long-term difference. And one more thing, do not use ash instead of charcoal. People constantly confuse the two, but ash contains hardly any stable carbon structures. It behaves completely differently. What you need is real biochar. Now you understand how healthy soil works. It stores, it buffers, it lives. And maybe that is exactly why this method is reappearing today. Not because it is new, but because it works. because much of the knowledge that once seemed completely normal never truly disappeared. It was simply replaced by products designed to generate profit.